The dark void awaits you.
Hello guys, and welcome to another video with me, Razor. I wanted to really just talk today, guys, about the exciting new expansion pack that we're going to be receiving called the Warlords of Draenor. I'm sure you guys have heard from BlizzCon that this is going to be the next World of Warcraft expansion, and I wanted to say that actually the talent calculators are already out, and we have received the possible talents for the 100 level cap. And I wanted to just take you guys through these abilities today and show you a little bit of what they will involve, and it really looks exciting. Having read through it, it looks like we're going to get some real good kind of changes. I guess the changes won't be, in my opinion, they haven't concentrated too much on for example the survivability of a priest, but they have definitely done something to counter the complaints that I guess people have been putting on about the fact that we're not quite as good at DPS as other classes. Now, before I go on, I want to start from the left to right, and I want to go through, first of all, it's called Divine Clarity. Now, the way that Divine Clarity is going to work, guys, is quite interesting because it's different for every spec, but let's just start with the discipline tree. The discipline tree, it says shields the target. It's first of all, it's called Clarity of Will as opposed to Divine Clarity, and it shields the target with a protective ward absorbing 2,500 damage. I guess this is going to be scaled with, it says within 30 seconds, so it's going to be a 30-second shield. It's almost like a mage ward, where it's going to be mage ward is also kind of similar, where it's going to be another absorption effect, but it replaces Greater Heal, which isn't too bad, I guess. Greater Heal, in my opinion, isn't that well used anyway. Now, for Holy Priest, it's called Clarity of Purpose, and it will heal the allies within 10 yards of the target for 5,000 scaled. Splits such that the most injured targets will receive a larger portion of healing. So it's a smart heal again, guys, and it's an AoE, and I think it's a very well placed ability for Holy Priests, because they do probably need it, although I think Holy Priests are quite good at the moment in both PvE and PvP. Now, Shadow is going to work in such a way, it's going to be quite different. First of all, with Shadow Priest, guys, it's going to have it's going to be called Clarity of Power, and it's going to have a passive effect. It's not going to be like we used to, where it's going to it's going to be like an ability we can use, but it says your direct shadow spells deal 40% additional damage to targets not affected by your periodic shadow damage spells. This means that you will not need to dot everything to be able to do damage. You can do damage, and 40% of, for example, your Insanity Flays, 40% of your Devouring Plague will go to the surrounding target. So it's very good for PvE, and I guess even in PvP when it comes to crowded arenas or battlegrounds. Now, the additional bit of the ability says casting Mind Spike also reduces the cooldown of Mind Blast by 1 second. Now, this is very interesting, guys, because it reduces it by 1 second. So the more you cast Mind Spike, the more you get basically a very much quicker a very much quicker regenerating Mind Blast. Now, Mind Spike reduces, as it says there, the cooldown of Mind Blast by 1 second. So the cooldown of Mind Blast is going to come down every time you use Mind Spike, which really promotes the idea of using more Mind Spikes, but it's still very good because this is just an addition to an already good ability that we will get for passive damage. And what it means is it will basically give you more DPS overall, give you more orbs, and it will try to up the amount of damage you do with Insanity. The next ability, the middle one, guys, going from left to right, is called Power of the Void. Now, I really love the title of this because I think we really are, as Shadow Priests, we really are the Masters of the Void. First of all, Discipline and Holy, it's the same for both classes, I guess, because it's a healing type of spell. It says it's called Shifting Perspectives, and it says that your Void Shift spell has no cooldown but can only be cast on allies with less health than you and no longer heals. So I guess this is kind of a nerf, I guess, for because it doesn't heal using Void Shift anymore, and it also cannot be used for your own benefit, only for the benefit of those that you're trying to keep from dying, I guess, in PvP or PvE. However, I really definitely see an advantage in how to use this. And an example of this would be just to use this ability on somebody who's lower health than you, then use your Spectral Guys, go away, heal, come back, use it again because there's no cooldown, and then go away and heal, and so on and so forth. So it can be very useful. Now the shadow version of this, guys, is called Void Entropy. Now Void Entropy is a dot. So it's a fourth dot in our already arsenal of dots that we have, including your Shadow Word Pain, your Vampiric Touch, and your Devouring Plague. So this is called Void Entropy, and Void Entropy will work in such a way where it will consume up to 3 Shadow Orbs to deal up to a certain amount of damage every 3 seconds for 60 seconds. For 60 seconds, guys. That's almost twice as long as any of our dots. Now the way this will help, and the way that I think this works, is almost like a Warlock's curse. For example, like Corruption or such curse, because it will be long term and it will be like a background damage dealer. This is really good for keeping something on rogues, and more specifically just doing background damage that's ticking away, but kind of almost hidden and unnoticed because it's always there and for a long period of time. Now I think coupled with the burst we're going to have from Insanity that we already do, and having this ticking away in the background as well, coupled with all the other dots that we have, it will be brilliant. I can already see, you know, kind of a scenario where I would use it. Start the duel. I've got 2 lucky procs from Divine Insight. I'll use this ability, keep it on them for a long period of time. I will go away and do something else with my other abilities to try to obviously bring them down, and this is all the time ticking in the background and causing more damage. Brilliant. Now I would say by far the most exciting ability that we're going to get at level 100 talents is going to be it's called Spiritual Guidance, and it's going to be the shadow version of Spiritual Guidance. Now before I go into the shadow version, I do want to go into the Discipline and Holy. Now it's the same. It's called Saving Grace, and what it does is it instantly heals a friendly target for 50% of their maximum health. Reduces your healing done by 10% for 10% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. This is like you can heal yourself 50%, and then you can heal yourself another 40% after that straight away, and it's an instant cast. The only difficulty is every time you use it, it will reduce the healing you do. So you can't heal yourself 100%. You can heal yourself 90% in 2 globals using this ability. But you've got to be careful when you use it, because it's going to be quite difficult in situations where you're going to be losing health by trying to use this ability. And then obviously if you stack it up to 10 times, and it will stack up to 10 times, you'll reduce that your healing done by 100%. However, it is a 10-second cooldown, so I can still see it being beneficial. Use it twice, maybe on yourself or somebody else, heal them for 50%. You'll only be losing 10% of your healing. If you want to use it on yourself, for example, on a 1-on-1 or whatever, or you've been focused, use it twice, go up to 90%, use your shield and Spectral Guys, and then just ride it out until the 10 seconds over, and then you can even use it again. So it's brilliant. However, guys, moving to the final most exciting part of this whole talent at level 100, and that is called Auspicious Spirits. A little bit difficult to say. Auspicious Spirits is the shadow version of Spiritual Guidance. Now, Auspicious Spirits means basically empowered spirits or empowered ghosts, or almost like elite type of spirit. And this basically, I guess, is Blizzard's way of saying we're going to give your shadow appropriations or your ghosts a much more kind of effective ability. And it does. It's passive again, guys, but the way it's going to be passive is your shadowy appropriations also grant you 1 shadow orb when they deal damage. That's it. That's all it says, and that's all it needs to say, in my opinion, because that is brilliant. I don't know if you guys saw, but from my introduction, I proc quite a lot of shadowy appropriations. I really put my critical strike rating up high, so I can crit more Shadow Word Pains, which in turn will bring forward a it will bring forward a shadowy abbreviation. Now when the shadowy abbreviation deals damage, guys, it will give me a shadow orb, which is absolutely brilliant, because coupled with divine insight, proccing more shadow orbs, coupled with your your insanity, you will be throwing devouring plagues and shadow word insanity all over the place. It will become like a massive party for you doing damage to people in PvP or in PvE scenarios, and it's going to do so much. It's going to be brilliant. So that's it, guys. These are the talents that have so far been released. Anything I'll see or any updates I get, I will put it into a video, and I will update you guys straight away. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be another video coming out soon, guys, with a very well-known warrior which I dueled. Just need to get approval from YouTube first for the just the background media and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys, if you did go to BlizzCon, I hope you really enjoyed it. It looked really exciting, to be honest, when I watched it. And these new abilities in the priest, looks like that Blizzard definitely want us to do more damage, and we'd love to do more damage, which is going to be brilliant, I think, for PvP. However, maybe, we don't know yet, but there are going to be probably abilities, you know, on the way from 90 to 100, but we don't know where they're going to be yet. Hopefully we will get some heals. If we do, absolutely brilliant. I'm really looking forward to the next expansion, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.